What do you have?
That's right, Bill. We've got that at 1:20. I'm over here at the National Desk where they're just working out all the particulars for where we're going to get the shot coming in here for the courtroom in Florida, where Caylee Anthony is about to step in. We haven't seen her in several days. She's going to step into that courtroom. There are cameras in the courtroom. We're going to take this live. And Chris Rose is joining me with some of the, I heard Doug Jacqueline just working out which remote this is going to come in on. We have bars right now on this remote, but in any minute from now, we're going to see what?
This is going to be the pool feed. It's a pool feed, so everyone's going to be getting it. Cameras are inside the court. We know that Caylee will be there. We know that her family will be there. We don't know if they'll be speaking. What we know is that legal department from the Orange County Corrections, from the Orange County Sheriff, and also a legal department for local media will be there to represent the media. This is all because Caylee's attorney filed a motion to prevent any phone calls or video from jail to be open to the public.
Right. Chris, thank you very much. And that's one of the main issues that we're dealing with here is the fact that we've had so many of these phone calls and videotapes released of Caylee talking to her family members in court, and it's very unusual. So the police are saying we have good reason to be doing this. Her family's saying, wait a minute, this is not typical, and we want those releasing of phone calls and videos to be cut off. In fact, on Saturday, she spoke to her brother Lee in a very sort of carefully worded phone conversation that he had with her. Here's what he had to say to Caylee, and listen to what she says about what she thinks about where her daughter is right now. Take a listen.
You think Kaylee's okay right now?
My gut feeling, as Mom asked me yesterday, and even Jose asked me last night, the psychologist asked me this morning that I met with through the court, in my gut, she's still okay. And it still feels like she's close to home.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's still my best feeling at the moment. Again, if that changes, I mean, obviously I'm going to reach out and say something immediately, but I know Mom will understand this better than anyone, that there's that type of bond that you have with your kids.
Right.
And it's, it's unexplainable.
Did you speak with Caylee over the phone at any time?
I did one time, yes, and that was actually the day that Mom had called the police.
All right, this is a very strange conversation. It almost sounds robotic. It sounds like there are certain points that they're trying to hit in this phone conversation. Orlando Salinas is on the scene. You can see him queuing up right here. Orly, can you hear me okay?
I sure can, Martha.
All right, so tell me a little bit about, we just listened to the conversation between Lee and Caylee, which in many ways sounds very sort of robotic between the two of them. She continues to have this sort of detached way of speaking about this whole very difficult situation. So tell us, you're in front of the house there in Florida. What's the very latest?
Well, let me tell you this much. In the past half hour or so, the Orange County Sheriff's Department has released what it considers to be the official log of folks who spent some time, who have officially visited, meaning they signed in, gave their name, possibly their social security number. Since the 17th of July through the 26th of July, 11 people have visited with Caylee Marie Anthony. Her attorney, Jose Baez, 8 times. One private investigator hired by the Baez legal team, and 2 law enforcement officers from the Orange County Sheriff's Office, a total again of 11 folks visiting. And the investigators from the Orange County Sheriff's Office visited with, or at least signed in their name to visit with, Caylee Anthony. That was this past Friday on the 25th. Now, we were hearing earlier from the desk talking about this 1:30 meeting, Martha. This is a big deal, and it is important. The attorney, Jose Baez, in there will argue forcefully that releasing any more audio or video of his client, Caylee Anthony, either video or audio, will prejudice any possible jury that if indeed this does go to trial. And as we also heard, indeed, the media will be represented there by an attorney who says, look, these audio and video recordings by law here in the state of Florida are public record. That's what we're waiting to hear, as you said, in about a half an hour from now, and we do expect Caylee Anthony to be in there, Martha.
All right, Orly, thank you very much. So the big issue here, Bill, of course, is whether or not these are going to be released. We don't usually get, as you well know, this kind of video coming in from the courthouse. And, it makes you wonder if this is the prosecution, the detective's way of kind of pulling some of this information out from the family by releasing these videotapes.
Maybe putting it out in the public and trying to squeeze them, too, and trying to get more information. You earlier today spoke with a family member, did you not, Martha?
I did. I spoke with Cindy Anthony earlier today.
And
she's the grandmother of Caylee Anthony. She's very defensive about the media. She said, in fact, point blank, she said to me, you know, it's going to be your fault, the media's fault, if Caylee is not found. And yet I was pressing her a bit, as so many of us have, on why she would have known that her daughter and her granddaughter were not in the house for 30 days and not have reported it sooner. And she just continued to say, you know, we have our reasons, and at that moment I had no idea that my granddaughter was missing. I just thought she was gone somewhere with my daughter. So very, very strange.
We're going to cue that up and play that a bit later, Martha,
right.
okay? In the meantime, we've got this hearing at 1:30, so stay tuned for that at Florida. In the meantime, a fierce wildfire outside of Yosemite National Park.